Hi people. I'm recording a really casual, just general reading today. I'm off of Instagram and TikTok, and so as I take these 3 weeks of Mercury retrograde off of those social media platforms, I figured I could pour a little bit of that creative energy into YouTube, which hasn't been getting as much love lately. So here I am. We're gonna do just a collective tarot reading for any humans who are watching this who need a little bit of energetic support, especially as we enter Virgo season, especially as we enter Mercury retrograde, and we're still in the midst of Venus retrograde. So I'm just asking, what messages do we need to receive today? What messages do we need to receive today? It's a little bit hesitant. I feel like there's a sense of maybe hesitation or ambivalence that's coming through. We also had the Fool come up in reverse. And so when the Fool is in reverse, there's a need to be mindful about any brash actions or steps that we might be taking or be about to take, to be thoughtful. And that especially applies as we're entering Mercury retrograde and as we're just in the thick of this retrograde energy. When I sat down to just ask what this reading should be about, I got the Chariot in reverse. And so there's a sense, let's see if I can focus that. Chariot in reverse. And then again, so you can see this focused, the Fool in reverse. And so both of these to me speak to us not being prepared for something that we might be trying to set out to do. And then I had the Queen of Cups appear upright. And so this could be related to relationships. This could be related to emotional matters where we may be unprepared to take some type of action that we're thinking about, that we're contemplating. But let's get a little bit more information here. Yeah, so now we have the Knight of Swords appearing upright. And so the overall feeling here is that this is about a relationship. This might be about a conversation, an important conversation that we're thinking about having with someone, and we are wanting to kind of rush into it, or we're wanting to maybe make a decision quickly because we're having this impulse and this sort of like overriding feeling that's like pushing us toward taking this action. But the advice here is to pause. The advice here is to tune into your intuition and to kind of maybe remove yourself from some of the noise. You might be getting impacted by a lot of like other people's opinions. You might be consuming a lot of readings like this. You might be kind of flooding your mind and creating internal noise that makes it difficult for you to actually be with yourself and tune into your intuition. And so if that's happening for you, I'd suggest you take time out to pause, to be with yourself, to tune into your inner world. Maybe spend a couple evenings this week just being in silence for a little bit. It could be 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be a long time, but just spend a few minutes just finding silence, finding quiet. Let's get a little bit more info. Yeah, so now we have the Hermit coming up, which is just confirmation that there's really a need to go inward right now. And this can be a beautiful time to kind of take some degree of retreat. And the Hermit is connected to Virgo, and this Mercury retrograde cycle is in Virgo. Mercury is stationing retrograde today, August 23rd. And will be retrograde through September 14th. And Venus is still retrograde and will station direct on September 3rd. So I'd really suggest that from now until early September, you really at least take a couple days where you clear your schedule if possible and just plan to be with yourself, plan to do restorative activities that help you get closer to you. It does feel like there's a lot of psychic noise right now. I want to get a little bit more information about this conversation or this relationship that seems to be coming up. It's going to be different for everyone. Yeah. Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the Devil upright. So it feels like this is a pretty significant attachment that we've maybe been hanging on to for a long time. And if I keep looking up to the right, it's because I just don't know where to look at my phone screen. Sorry. So this feels like a pretty like hefty attachment that has kept us hooked for a long time. There may be some scarcity fears here, like we think we can't do better, or we think that maybe we have to hold on really tightly to this person, this relationship, because there's a fear of what would happen to us if we were to let go. And then the Ten of Wands in reverse is suggesting that this has become really burdensome, but we might be afraid to kind of step away from that burden, because it's sort of the notion that when we've invested so much time and energy into something, we have to wait around for the payoff. And waiting around for the payoff can keep us stuck in miserable situations. And so no matter what type of relationship this is, it feels important for you to back up and spend time alone and really notice how you feel when you tune out of this relationship. So how do you feel when you take silence? How do you feel when you spend time by yourself? How do you feel when you don't speak to this person for a day or two, if that's even an option? And what kind of advice do we have? So we just had a few pop out as soon as I said that or asked that. We have the High Priestess, Justice, and then the Four of Swords in reverse. So for a lot of you, you could have a really strong intuitive sense about what it is that you need to do here. You could be focusing a lot on maybe desired closure, like wanting someone else to be honest with you, wanting someone else to kind of deliver a sense of closure or justice that you feel like you're lacking right now. The Four of Swords in reverse to me feels like you could actually be having like interrupted sleep. This could be impacting you subconsciously. This could be showing up in your dreams. This could be really making it difficult for you to get the kind of rest and retreat that you need, because it feels like it's impacting you on multiple levels. And there is a lack of balance here that's coming through, but I feel like this little insert card is coming up. It's like you are a badass being, full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. Wow, I just read that in reverse. So maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something about like seeing things from a different perspective and needing to kind of reflect on your own gifts, on your own self-worth. It feels like for a lot of you, this situation has challenged your sense of self-worth. I just dropped a card. Let me grab it. It's challenged your sense of self-worth. Seven of Cups in reverse. It feels like you have gotten a bit lost in fantasy and swept away by the like could be's, the should be's, the hopes, the dreams that you have for this situation, but it's causing you to detach from the reality of what's happening within you, around you. I feel like for some of you, if this is a romantic situation, you could have gotten kind of swept away with the notion that this person is like your soulmate, or even, God forbid, your twin flame. And that is a very difficult path to go down. I recommend that no one involve themselves in that storyline, because it can lead to really destructive fantasies where we romanticize unhealthy and even in some cases abusive relationships. And so if that resonates with you, please do take time to ground and to kind of like come back to the material reality, without, ideally without shame, because I've been there. I think a lot of us have been there, and it can be really hard to kind of find your way out of a fantasy where you have built someone up to be kind of the person who completes you. But the message here is pretty loud and clear that this relationship, whatever it is, you're better off moving forward and choosing yourself. I feel that your self-worth will really bounce back in a big way when you do choose yourself. Puppy barks to confirm it. And I feel that you'll be and feel much better on the other side of this. The dogs are starting to bark a lot, but we have the Knight of Cups coming out as your final message. And so I feel like there is a happier situation awaiting you in the future, a happier situation where you can give that love to yourself, and where someone else who truly does love, admire, and respect you can give that cup of love to you too. But it's just about choosing yourself first, okay? Bye. I love you.